Hello and welcome to another Tech Articles. In today's article, I want to discuss Find My Block. I had to use this recently on a project that somebody asked me to have a look at in the latter part of that project because they had some clashes on their site with plugins. They had literally hundreds of plugins installed, dozens of different individual blocks, and as well as at least half a dozen block suites. And it was just carnage of a website. And part of the reason for that is because of all these plugins installed. And what I had to do as part of that process was look at how I would remove the conflict, which I managed to do. Actually, I managed to apply a hotfix to the plugin that was causing the main issue and get the site back working. But it was just disastrously slow, and ultimately it's a ticking time bomb every time you update it. So I said to the person whose site it was that I would recommend that they reduce the amount of plugins that they've got installed, particularly around these block plugins. They had a lot of crossover. And what they'd done is over the years, they just, when they wanted a new element and they couldn't find exactly what they were looking for, or they were following a YouTube tutorial or something along those lines, they were just installing that block plugin and using that one item. In most cases, there was no turn off of unused items, even when that was possible by the suite. So it was just a mess. And what I did is I installed Find My Blocks and I began looking at the stuff that was installed and working to rationalize that installation. And for one example of this was they had multiple different video player blocks installed from multiple suites, but they also had Presto Player installed. So what I did is I migrated all of their videos to Presto Player and subsequently deleted all of the others that they were just using just for the video block. They had individual Gutenberg blocks for video as well as the ones in the suites that were removed as well. And actually they hadn't used them consistently, and this is what tends to happen if you install lots of blocks. You don't consistently use the same block, you just use whatever video one you want to use and then you will do it. So it was about rationalization. And I was talking to somebody else about it and I was surprised how many people don't know Find My Blocks. It's written by the same person that writes Conditional Blocks Pro, and I thought I'd give a quick demonstration of how it works, how to use it, and from there introduce it. And I've written a little article about the job I've done, and I thought I'd record a little video and upload it as a quick tip. So we'll jump straight into WordPress, and on this site I've got a car crasher blocks. So I've got code blocks, generate blocks, get width, green shift, cadence, spectra, to name a few. And I've got a single page here with a load of blocks installed on it from various different items. And what we're going to do now is we're going to navigate to tools and find my blocks like so. And I'm going to rescan this site. Depending on the hosting you've got and how many blocks you've got, it's going to depend how you want to scan it. In this case, I've got a single page, so it doesn't matter, but I'm going to go on low anyway. And I'm going to do a start of a search, and it's going to do a scan of my site, and it's told me that I've got blocks and where they are and how they work. And you'll see a list of the blocks that are installed and being used on this site. Now, in my case, they are being used in pretty much all the same page. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head over to pages. I'm going to delete this one here, send it to the bin. I'm going to add a new page, which we'll call new blocks, like so. We'll publish it. Then I'm just going to go back to the back end, go to Find My Blocks and run it again. So we're rescanning, and you'll see here I've just got the ones that are regarding the menu here. So now I'm going to go head back to my page and my new page here with my new blocks, and I'm just going to go straight here and I'm going to use these Spectra blocks because they're just here. So let's go with heading, image, and what do we reckon, a call to action? Media library, I have an image on here. I downloaded one from Pixels earlier, so let's stick that in. Let's publish this page. Go back to find my blocks and rescan. And now it should have a totally new set of data available to us, which it has. So we've got a UAGB, which is Spectra, heading, call to action, and image on a page called New Blocks, which we know because we just created it. And in a nutshell, that's how Find My Blocks works. Now, if I was looking to remove Spectra, as an example, I could then look for alternative blocks within what I was deciding to keep to replace these items. Maybe I'll use generate blocks and I'll add a advanced heading, an image, and a text, some text, and a heading and a button, all in one go. So I could, for example, head over here and we could go to the here, and if I limit this to generate, we could add a heading, an image, container, some heading, some text, and a button. And while this won't immediately look the same, let's put our heading, text, and button in this container. Just grab from our media library. What does it say up here? Your attractive heading. Let's put that in here. Let's copy this call to action for our text heading, our call to action text, and our read more button. Now, obviously, it's not straight out the block. It's not the same, but we have the ability to do very similar things with our button here, and we've not replicated it exactly, and that's not what this is about. But we could then remove our Spectra blocks like so, and we are left with our generate blocks, and we now rerun, and we know it's safe to remove Spectra because we're using our generate blocks instead. And that's what I used Find My Blocks for. I used it to identify which blocks from which suites were being used and to consolidate down and rebuild those blocks. And I just thought I'd do a little video on Find My Blocks, how to use Find My Blocks, show you it in action and the methodology I used. Hopefully this is of use to you. Thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe to the channel, and please leave your questions and comments in the comments below.